Hey, Jarrett, how are you?
I'm wonderful, Lauren. How are you? Thanks for
I'm,
having me.
I'm great. I'm super excited to talk to you about your keyword finder. Before we dive into that, can you just
Absolutely, yeah. I'm super excited to be here to be able to share with you. Thanks for the invite. I love talking data. I love talking keyword strategy. So it's a fun session for me to have. So thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell everyone just a little bit about yourself and kind of what you do, what your background is, because this isn't your first tool for TPT sellers.
So my wife and I, Beth, run a called Your Data Playbook. So it's a membership that provides analytics, coaching, and enablement for teacher sellers to unlock the value of their data. Basically, what does the unlock mean is how do we take data and make it an asset that really drives business value for you, right? And so try to make it less intimidating and give you the tools you need to make more money and to continue to level up your store. Yeah, my background's in data. I'm come from corporate background, but just started helping Beth with her store late at night when she was pregnant. And, I was like, hey, you can make more money here. You can make more money there. And so my day-to-day at work was working with data. And so then I started doing that at night with her. And then a couple years later, here we are running Your Data Playbook, or as most call it, YDP. We love enabling and empowering the teacher communities and the teacher seller community. So that's what we're passionate about. And we believe everyone should have access to the ability to leverage their data to make better decisions and more money ultimately for their business.
I love it. So let's talk about your keyword finder tool. Tell us a little bit about it, what it does, kind of give us the brief overview.
The purpose of a keyword tool is really to help in discovering keywords that are relevant for your business, right? The whole thing with keywords is they help match supply and demand. So if you think in a marketplace, like the context of TPT, right? You're the supply, like teacher sellers are the supply. They create products, and then the keywords are really what are the bridge to help match the search with the demand side. And so what we do is we created a tool that shows you the top searches in terms of popularity, and then also how challenging it is or how easy it will be to rank for that particular term. And then we show you if they're trending up or down over time. So we give a nice little trend line. And then you can see some different filtering and options about, hey, what's the most difficult or least difficult to rank for? And another feature that we have is called first page reviews threshold. So basically, how many reviews will it take to actually hit the first page on search? So there's usually a threshold or a barrier. So if you have a product, for example, has 250 reviews, and that search term for, let's say, algebra has, on average 350 reviews on that first page, you probably won't be able to rank for that particular page on page one because you need about 100 more reviews, for example. So we have different metrics or indices that we use that give you guidance to know what you can and can't rank for, and also what's popular and what's trending.
I love that, because then you're able to get all of that information kind of at a glance without going back into the TPT search engine over and over again. Okay, now what for this keyword? What if I add this, additional keyword into or additional descriptor onto that root keyword? Would I be able to rank then? You're not having to do that over and over again. You can kind of see everything at a glance. So I love that. So obviously, depending on what niche you're in, right? So I'm in middle school, high school math. Like I'm not going to want information on, second grade worksheets or all of those root keywords. I know that when you first sign up or as you're a member, you can go in and you upload the keywords that you want to track. So let's say that I want to track the root keyword Pythagorean theorem. What kind of information would I be able to get from asking for or uploading that root keyword into the system? What kind of information am I going to get back, and what am I going to be able to do with it?
Good question. So if you take that particular term, and again, it's something broad, so you think algebra, math, geometry, that really you want to start super broad, because what it's going to do is now we can query up to about 1,000 keywords, right? So we'll get as many suggestions as possible that are related. So a root word in this case is broad. So it's going to give you all of the terms that are related to that particular term. So if you go too niche, too narrow, then you're going to get less suggestions. So one thing is you can get up to thousands of suggestions back, right? And so that's key. So you'll get a lot of suggestions back the more broad you go for root words. And then you can see how popular, so you can see how many people have searched for that particular term in the last 30 days, right? And then you can see if that term is it increasing over time, meaning are more people searching for it right now versus last month, or is it actually in decline, meaning it's not, during peak season when people are shopping for this the most. And then we also provide what's called a popularity min and max. Basically, when is it most popular, and gives you a range. So in this case, let's say the slowest demand month is about 800 searches and the highest demand is 20,000 searches. So you can get a range to see actually how big the market size is for that product. So is it worth it to make a product for this particular term or not, right? So it helps you really gauge how big that demand and is it worth going after that. And then you get a popularity score, basically says, hey, from 1 to 100, how popular it is. 100 is this term is really popular in the TPT universe. And then the rank difficulty is, hey, how hard is it to rank on page 1? 100 being really hard, 0 being super easy. And then the first page threshold review that I mentioned before. So you get all of that just from submitting one particular keyword, you get all of that back. And then you can see the trending popularity over time, like I mentioned.
Right. So you're getting, and not just for that one root keyword. I want to make sure that anyone who's listening, it's kind of hard if you haven't seen it, which we're going to have you demo this in the YouTube version. So if you're listening on podcast, you'll be able to see this on YouTube, and I encourage you to go watch it. But if you haven't seen it, if you put in Pythagorean theorem, then it's going to generate a lot of different keywords from that one root keyword, and you're getting to see the popularity ranking, and I think you called it the difficulty ranking, or the difficulty ranking for each one of those generated keywords from that main root keyword. You're getting a lot of different ideas, and you're going to be able to kind of decide or decipher whether or not you would be able to rank for any of those keywords.
Yeah, and I think the whole thing here, the main 3 use cases that we see for people using this tool right now is really optimizing existing listings. Like, hey, I'm using a term that maybe isn't as popular, so I settled for a term that's not the most popular. I'm going to swap out and use a different keyword that's more popular that I can rank for. Or, like you're saying, new product creation. I'm going to create it. I identify this is an emerging market. Oh, hey, I didn't even know this. People were searching for this. I'm going to go and create a new product. Or actually, I have something that I can just tag for this. And then content planning, whether that's email, blogs, etc. So you can use this for a lot of that. Those are the main 3 use cases that we see right now when people are getting results from it. And so a good example to think about too, Lauren, is if you go and type in search on TPT and you see Pythagorean theorem, and you see the 5 suggestions that pop up. Those are keywords, right? Well, essentially what we're doing is going beyond that and beyond the veil there, like you're not limited and restricted to those 5. We're going and we can actually get up to 1,000. So if you were to imagine that the drop-down screen for the search results, when you type in whatever term, imagine that list being 1,000 long. So every time we can query, that's the maximum amount of results that we can pull from it.
I love that. All right. That's awesome. So I'd love to see a video demonstration of this now. Sure. And again, if you're listening on podcast, you definitely going to want to go watch the YouTube version so that you can see this. But if you don't mind, if you share your screen with us and just kind of show us how this works.
Okay. So here we're looking, and again, we can go in and there's a couple tools beyond the keyword finder. So if we have a little bit of time at the end, I can show you a couple rank tools if you want. So this is the first tool that we put out. It's called your keyword finder, like Lauren was mentioning. And so what you see here is you have your keyword. In this case, we're just looking at anything that the term popular on TPT. So anything that show up, what's trending on TPT. So we see right now, this data has been updated through the 29th. And so we're looking at most popular and least popular keywords. So Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving activities, digital resources, and then you can see the volume. So basically in the last 30 days, the average is 20,000 people have searched for this particular term, right? And the popularity is obviously going down, meaning it's hit its peak and now it's coming off its peak because Thanksgiving is over, right? And so we could actually click into that and see right here, as you can see, the data is supporting that. Here's this trend line that's telling, okay, yeah, Thanksgiving is over. But you can see the cool part about this too is you could actually see the ramp up in demand and see, oh, for example, if you're a seasonal seller, you have seasonal products, we know from this data, demand usually starts to pick up 6 to 8 weeks before actual peak season, right? So in this case, we see, hey, the peak is here. So look, it helps you get a gauge there. I'm getting ahead of myself, getting excited, but the bottom line here is that popularity trend is super important so you can actually gauge and see how popular something is. And again, you can see that also here with this minimum range. So basically tells you what in the lowest month, how many people search for it, and the highest month, how many people search for it. So this tells you the market size, right? And then the popularity score, like we mentioned, again, 0 being low popularity here, 100 being high popularity. And the same thing here with rank difficulty, but the inverse. So here you're looking at 0 being super easy, meaning there's no competition for this keyword, I can rank for it. And 100 being, wow, it's super competitive. A lot of people are in the market and there's a ton of competition because there's a lot of reviews. So on average, if you want to rank just to get to the bottom of page 1 of Thanksgiving, it's going to take you 527 reviews to do that, right? Not the top, but just actually land on the bottom of the first page search result. And so again, it gives you a gauge to know what's popular and how difficult it is to be able to rank, or easy in that case. One other feature here, and again, we can talk about this for easily a half an hour, if you let me nerd out. But one of the things also here is you could go in and you can look, Lauren, for example, and you want to see, like, I want to look and see, like, what's the fastest in terms of percentage growth and popularity. So I want to know what's growing or what's trending the most right now. And so I can just click this and it's going to filter for me. And so here, Thankful Turkeys obviously is on its way out, but like Elf on the Shelf, this is good, right? This is Christmas, and we already start to see Elf on the Shelf started trending way back in November, and you see it starting to pick up already, right? So we're still a month out from Christmas, but this is a good indicator. So you get a good signal, hey, this product or this term is, people are already starting to search for it. Do I have anything for Elf on the Shelf, or should I create something for Elf on the Shelf? And so Elf on the Shelf doesn't seem that difficult to rank, right? So you could go in and, hey, let's go in and test if I have a product that's Elf on the Shelf, or you might want to create a product that could actually target that particular term.
I love this because I think the popularity change is extremely important, because then I can see if something's on its way out and it's, it's kind of on the decline, those are probably, for longevity purposes, not going to be the keywords that I'm going to want to choose. I'd rather pick something that's, trending upwards in terms of popularity. So I love that. I love that you're able to sort by that. And I love that we can see that data right there in front of it. I love it.
And the cool thing here is, like, if you're, for sellers that are super seasonal, this is helpful, like you're saying, but also, like you're saying, Lauren, too, is like evergreen. If you're an evergreen seller and you want to target products that are always in demand, this is a great way to do it. So you can submit a list, basically, hey, like math games, etc., anything else that you can see. Also, when math games have hit their peak popularity, they're going to have popularity all throughout the year, right? But we know, hey, math is generally most popular during back to school. But what other kinds of math games trend by, as the sequence of the year and curriculum that evolves, what math games are actually most popular by month? You'll be able to see that, right? So that's very cool. So yeah, this just gives you a ton of data, like you're saying, into how demand evolves and what's increasing and decreasing over time and as the year progresses. So another advanced feature here too is, like, if you were to go in and click show advanced filters, what you could do is say, I want to see market opportunities. So let's say I want to just see low difficulty here, and I want to see everything that has a high popularity or higher medium popularity. Basically, hey, what's super easy to rank for and actually has some demand, right? So in this case, we just filtered it out. So Elf on the Shelf pops up again, but this way you can filter out and it instantaneously shows you the opportunity markets. Here they are for popular on TPT in the last 7 days. So here you can see these ones are higher popularity and pretty easy rank difficult. So that's an advanced feature here that just showcase real quick. But yeah, that way, again, you want to focus and then you can just go through. And some of them are actually in decline because of Thanksgiving, but like Grinchcraft, these guys are actually, there's underserved. So people are searching this market, searching for these terms, and there's not a lot of demand. So these are something to take into consideration, especially, sound mounts, for example. Hey, let's go look at this guy. It's in the decline, but again, specifically for products that were very heavy on like back to school, a lot of them are going to be in decline until Christmas, and they peak again in January and then decline into June, right? That's kind of the season or the cyclical nature of the demand that we see on TPT. But that doesn't mean you still have 200 people searching for it, which is still significant if you have anything that could target for sound mounts. Hey, so that's a good example of how to identify a particular product and you have rank difficulty of 32, meaning it's relatively easy and not a ton of reviews to actually target that particular term and get on page one. So this is a low-hanging fruit, as we like to say.
I love this. And I like the fact that initially was thinking about this tool. In my mind, this was for existing resources, getting more eyes on them, which it is. But this is also, it seems like a really great tool if you're in product creation mode and you're trying to get the biggest bang for your time buck in terms of how am I going to create a product that is going to be able to rank versus creating a product where I'm stuck with keywords that are extremely popular and difficult to rank for. So I love this.
Yeah, it's your traditional, or like, as in the SEO world, they call it the long tail keywords. Like, you want long tail, lower competition, but I can rank for it. And so that's exactly what we're trying to do in highlighting this. And this has already gone through a couple of iterations, and we'll continue to improve it based on people's feedback. But yeah, that's the idea, is you want to get the biggest bang for your buck, and you don't. I want to say it is kind of depressing and sad sometimes when you put your heart and soul into this product and you put it out in the market and there's crickets, right? So because it gets buried on page 3, right? And no one's going to see it. So you want your new releases to try to get at least be ranked for one particular term on page 1, right? You just need to be on. So, and that's honestly, if we transition, I would show you why you need your rank tracker, right? Why you would actually need to understand where your products are ranking. I can give you a quick snippet to give you a little teaser if you want. Okay, but lastly, before I jump into that, here, the other thing is we talked about content planning. Here, people use this too, Lauren, for, you can basically get the most popular terms by month. So if you want to plan out your content calendar and see like what's popular, you get green here as unique terms for that particular month. And then you also can see like for November, we just finished Thanksgiving. So you can actually see here what were the most popular terms for that entire month here in one list. So again, for content planning purposes, great to know what's super popular, what's trending, and what's unique. So this is helpful for email planning, blog planning, even product creation too, but people use this and just get one big view of what's popular throughout the whole year in a list format. And you get some cute little icons, right?
I like this. I think when I see this calendar and I'm looking at it, one of the things that comes to mind for me as to how this could be useful is if I have a product where I know that I'm likely going to have to update keywords throughout the year, I can go ahead and have that calendar as a list for VAs to say like in March or at the end of February, go ahead and switch these words over to these words. And I can just kind of have that main list already created so that I'm not having to think about it every single month, but it is a task that, you know, I can outsource or I can have someone on my team take care of for me. So I love this.
I love it. Yeah, that's a great use case. I love that. So yeah, super helpful here. You want a whole year of content ideas or planning, like you're saying, in one look. It's right here for you. So then going back to what you're saying with new product releases, and what we're doing with this tool is called your keyword rank tool. And it's really just to help you keep track of the position of your specific products for keywords, right? So, and this is crucial for understanding the effectiveness of your SEO strategies. Like if you're on page 5 on a new product, that, like I said, it's sad. Like, okay, how do I do? So this will actually tell you. So what this product does, and this isn't actually out, but by the time this podcast airs, it will be out. So what this is for YDP, current YDP members, we're releasing it this month, which is, we're recording this is end of November. But what you see here is you get to see what your overall global ranking is 33. So for all of Beth's particular products, this is some dummy data too, that her global rank is 33. So she's showing up just after the first page on all of her products for the keywords that she's targeting. But then I can come in and drill down and say, okay, I want to look at my product and what the current rank is. So this particular product, this ESL speaking and writing, right? So I'm ranking for 12 keywords on page 1. And I'm ranking for 1 keyword on page 3 to 5. So it actually gives you the distribution and tells you this is how many keywords this particular product is ranking for and where. And so then I can click, let's say I want to click on this particular product, like I just had filtered. And what it's going to show you is it's going to show you this is your rank for that. So ESL, the current rank is 17 and she's down 1 position over time, right? And then you can see the popularity, similar to what we just saw in the keyword finder, similar metrics here. So you know how popular it is. Is it declining in popularity or not? And then you can actually see your particular product and your rank for that particular keyword for that particular product. So you know, going back to the point, like let's say this is a new product that you can actually see all of the keywords that you are targeting for that new release product and where you're sitting. So this gives you visibility to know, are the keywords that I'm targeting the correct keywords based on where I'm ranked? If I'm not ranking on page 1 for anything, I have a problem because I'm not going to get seen, especially if you're a newer seller or you don't have an email list or a way to drive your own traffic. Essentially, that product doesn't exist because no one sees it. So this shows you where your actual rank is and how you can make steps to target less competitive keywords so that you show up at least on some keyword searches on page 1.
Love it.
So there's this, and we're incorporating some of the, when you make a title change, if, for example, this is your old product title, your new product title, and whether that product title was successful or not. So basically, how much money have you made since that title changed? So if you looked at the product change tracker at all in the membership, Lauren, this would be, we're grabbing some of those features and bringing it in here. So hey, did my actual title change make more money or not? So this is, we're just starting to dabble in this, but this is kind of a sneak peek into that. So yeah, this is one tool for rank tracking. And then we have another one that looks at your keyword tracker, which basically is, so this is product centric. And then you have, this one is keyword centric, right? So keyword centric is just hey, how many products do I have ranked in the top 100 results? So in this particular, for this term, ESL, Beth has 5 products that are ranked in page 1, 8 products that are ranked in page 2, 9 products that are ranked in page 3 to 5, and a total of 22 products in the top 100 for that particular term, right?
Love
so yeah, I mean, we can go into detail here, but basically you can click and then see those particular products like we just showed you before, but just a different view. You flip it on its head. This is keyword centric. And then you would go in, well, let's actually do this for, let's say I want to see, I have 19 products. What you see here is same thing as you see the actual product, the current rank of that product, and then the trend over time, how your ranking over time is changing. And then here you have this little thing called products with potential. So basically it tells you you have 7 products that you have potential to rank for on page 1 for ESL newcomers. So it actually gives you a recommendation of, hey, try using this particular term because you have enough reviews to rank for this on this page.
Yeah. Oh, that's neat. That's incredible. I'm excited for this to come out. This is really amazing. Can you tell us, Jarrett, like, who would you say this tool is for? Because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking probably anybody can benefit from this at any stage in their business, but there's obviously going to be like an ideal stage of your business that you're going to be in where this tool is going to be the most useful for you and give you the biggest return on your investment.
Yeah, I think going to your point, I would say these tools were really created for everybody, like you're saying. But like if you're just starting out on your journey or you're not making a ton of money yet, you want to be focusing on your SEO, right? So because you don't have money to invest in an email list, you don't have money to invest in marketing. It's all about, you have to get all of your traffic from TPT. And so I would say, hey, if you're just starting out, the keyword finder is a no-brainer. And that's why we created it, because some people are saying, hey, YDP core is too, like the core product is too expensive. Can you create a cheaper product for people to get started? And so this is one of our responses to, hey, we want to help you. Here's a keyword tool so that, get traffic, because that's the main thing you need to be able to then start getting sales. So that's why I said this one can be for anyone. And then you want to also pair it with rank because it's helpful to know, hey, what am I ranked for after when I target these keywords? So I'd say this is a really appropriate, at least keyword finder for anybody. And if you're a little like more hesitant with data, I can start here and then you can work your way into looking at rank. But yeah, ideally you want this tool to be in your arsenal at any stage. And if you had to focus on one, it's just like a beginner seller or seller that's not making, a ton of money, then I'd say focus on the keyword finder and then move your way up from there.
So I know there's, I think, 3 different pricing options for this currently. So if you're in the lowest pricing option comes with how many root keywords? I can't remember. And I know each root keyword can generate up to 1,000.
So we're actually rolling out, so by the time this airs, we're rolling out a new pricing. So we're going to make a keyword finder, like the basic tier. I think we're calling it the starter. It's going to be between like $10 and $14 is what we're going to make. And so that, I think it's like 25 root words. So again, a root word can generate thousands of suggestions. And we might actually even include, we're talking about including rank in it as well. So basically for $14 a month, $10 to $14 a month, you can get keyword finder and rank. I think rank will have like 50 keywords that you can track. So yeah, and then it goes up from there. And so we're finalizing those tiers. Those aren't public yet. So the pricing that you have right now, Lauren, we're updating that. So you'll be grafted into the new tier system. But yeah, just trying to make it accessible. Again, it's going to be basically the more keywords you want and the more tracking you want, the higher it goes because just more data, more work. And so yeah, and then you can come to the YDP group and then we'll do some coaching calls every other month. So we're trying, again, just help people with different parts of their journey. So think about it. It's going to be 10 to 14 and then it'll up to there. I think the top tier might be $40 to $50 depending on where we sit with it. So we're, like I said, pardon the redundancy, but we're finalizing that right now. So you're getting us in the middle of this transition between just the keyword finder to adding in these rank tools. So.
Well, we'll have the link in the description. So anybody who wants to go check out the pricing and check all that out, they can. But I think the main thing here would be that if somebody is brand new and they would like to utilize this tool, but again, they're not making a lot of money on TPT. Starting with that basic tier, I think when you first hear like, oh, it's going to track, maybe 20 keywords or, something like that, it doesn't sound like a lot, but that could be all that's really, really all they need when they first start, right?
Exactly. I've seen one keyword had kept me busy for months So you can do a lot with it because if you just focus on one niche, you can do one is more than enough to get started out. One root keyword, and again, when we talk about root keywords, key distinction is broad, something super general, and that's going to capture any, like math. Math generates 3,000 suggestions a day type of thing. So, and not all of them are unique. 25 root keywords is plenty to get started.
Love it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jarrett, for sharing this with us and for sharing this incredible tool and also taking the time out of your day to explain how it works and to give people a little bit more insight, because I know sometimes it's really hard when you just see a price and you just kind of see a little bit about the tool and you don't know a whole lot about it. It's kind of hard to decide whether or not it's going to be something that's actually going to be beneficial for your business. So I thank you for taking the time to share it today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me and giving me the opportunity to share with you. So I appreciate it.